this year we're going to do things slightly differently. What would normally happen on an open evening is I would make a speech, as would the head boy and the head girl, and we talk about our experiences at Patcham and why we think it's such a fantastic school. But because of COVID and because we're doing things online or virtually, we've decided that a far better way would be for me to have a question and answer session with our head boy and head girl, which is Fred and Tabitha, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that we think are important to the school. But before we start there, I really just wanted to say that working at Patcham High School has been something that I've been particularly proud of for many years now, and I'm proud of it because I think it's a fantastic school full of wonderful students, full of wonderful staff who have the best intentions for the children at the heart of everything they do. It's a kind and it's a caring school. It's a school that's ambitious, and it's a school that believes in all the children and knows that every single one of them can achieve. So, I've got a few questions. I'm going to ask you these now. I've pre-prepared them. So here we go. First question. I don't know who wants to take it first. Probably you, Fred. How would you describe the feel of the school?
I describe it as one where you have a really good relationship with the teachers from the moment you walk in, and it's one where you feel completely comfortable with them, and they're honest with you about how you're doing, and they always try to get the best from you, I think. And from the moment you walk in, you just really feel looked after, and you feel like they've got your back, really. I feel like there's a really good, we're all in the same boat relationship with the teachers, which I think that's one of the first things I noticed when I walked in.
Okay.
Yeah, not only that they're so welcoming, that they go out their way to put on extracurricular clubs to help you improve in the things that you want to improve in. They're checking up on your grades all the time, and it's just overall you feel like you're on track and you're going to get the best possible experience out of your high school that you possibly can.
And other extracurricular things that you've been involved in?
I do the rugby club after school, and I still do big band, and I used to do senior choir once, which is special. But no, I do rugby club and the big band. So yeah, and you get to meet lots of people through doing it. And as well as that, I did the school musical as well. So you just get to meet loads of people through that, and it's great that the school offers things like that for you just find your way in life, really, I guess. Get you interested in things.
Yeah, so I've been involved in the dance club, and that's gone through into Let's Dance. I've done lots of shows like Fred, and it's the friendships that have got me. But I've built friendships with Fred and loads of other people, and I've built new skills, like with the drama and thing. It isn't something I'd normally do, but I've learnt a new skill that I'll be able to take on to outer life with me.
Okay. So I kind of think of Patcham as quite a progressive school, and what I mean by that is it's a school that is prepared to take a few risks to try things that are different, and to see if perhaps they work and if they're things that are going to make a big difference to the students. So we were one of the first schools who had a school dog, for example. So the school dog that you sometimes see in lots of schools around the whole of Sussex now. We were the first school to do that because we knew that having a dog might prove to be really valuable to some students who perhaps had a little bit of support that perhaps could have been offered by having a dog, and so that's why we decided that we'd have that. We also one of the first schools to do Drop Everything and Read, which is something that's embedded into the school culture. So our regular reading time is something that's particularly special to Patcham High School. I just wondered, from your opinion, what is it that makes Patcham unique to you?
So I think, as you were saying before, the extracurricular activities is really good. It means you can meet new people, and it's just something else to do. But I think the fact that it's a community-based school, it doesn't just think about the students and the teachers. It thinks about parents and people living around the school. So one example is we've done lots of charitable events, one of which is where, believe it or not, the teachers actually dress up and get chased around the field by students every Christmas. I just think it's little things like that where we just think about everyone, like the community aspect that the school has is just, I don't know, something really special, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you, Tabitha?
I think, yeah, the community aspect, like little things, just even like Mr. McKee, like welcoming us in with a handshake. Obviously that can't happen now, but just having that, like, that you feel like you're part of something.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. And obviously what lies at the heart of the school is the teachers. I mean, it's, the teachers here, I think we've got some fantastic teachers, and I know that you've experienced a lot of good teaching, but, how would you describe the teaching at Patcham that you've got? Do you want to start this one off, Tab?
Yeah, so I think the teaching is absolutely brilliant. I think they cater to all your needs. If you need a little bit of extra support in maths, they'll give you that. They're really looking for the best in you and getting the best grades possible. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they, like Tabitha was saying, they're really supportive, and they're really hands-on with your learning, and they'll check up on how you're doing, and you just feel like they're always striving to get the best out of you and make you achieve what they know that you can achieve. So I think they're just really supportive, and they would do so much for you if it meant that you could get a good grade.
But while looking after your well-being at the same time. So we have things like Calm in place, where you can do like extra like groups if you need a little bit of support in a different section, or even just with your work, like exam stress, etc., like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And people find that pretty useful.
Yeah, really useful.
Yeah, I know lots of people who benefit from things like Calm, where it's just somewhere they can go and they can talk to someone and just relax if they're having a stressful day or something like that. So yeah, I think things like that are really good, and there's just a really good relationship with teachers here, I think.
Okay, so you have a tutor, don't you?
Yeah.
And then a head of year, and how does that work then?
So we have our tutors through year 7 to year 11, so you're building a really good bond throughout actually, and with your head of year you keep that from year 7 to 11, so you have a constant support throughout your whole time at Patcham while building a relationship up with the teachers, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I think obviously lots of schools have tutors, but we have them all the way through the whole year. So it's 7 or the whole time at school. So from year 7 to year 11, you'll have the same tutor. So they get to see you go up through the school, and they'll be there to support you. And if you're having any problems, you can talk to them, and they'll make it happen for you. And your head of year is someone you can go to if you're having friendship issues, or if you're struggling with work and things like that, where you can just talk to them, and they'll listen, and then they'll try and sort it out for you. And they're just really good at supporting you through things if you're having a rough time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we hear about the good things, but something that the prospective parents will always ask me, or somebody will ask, is how does the school handle things when they don't go right? So how would the school handle, for example, bullying or challenging behaviour in the classroom?
I feel like at Patcham there's a real first off, I think there's a real lack of bullying. I don't really see it that much. I think that as a school there's quite a close-knit community when it comes to that kind of thing. But there's a zero tolerance for it, and teachers are really good at clamping down on it and sorting it out straight away. Like, you feel you can go to a teacher, however small the issue may seem, and that they'll listen to you, and if something needs to be done, they'll deal with it straight away. They don't beat around the bush, so to speak. They just get it done, which I think is really good.
And the behaviour in the lesson, if you're not going to behave and you're not going to contribute to that lesson, you get a warning and then you're out of the lesson. And I think it's been done in a really good way. No one else is getting their learning disrupted from that.
Yeah, they just think about everyone, and if you're affecting everyone else's learning, then the teachers don't like that, and it's unfair on everyone else. So I think there's a real zero tolerance for bullying and for misbehaviour in general, really, which I think is really good. Okay,
so I've really got one final question that I wanted to ask you, and that's to do with what you're going to do when you leave Patcham High School, because it's all well and good coming to school and getting your exams and having a good time and us looking after you, but really it's about your journey on to adulthood and what you're aspiring to do when you leave here, and that's what I'm interested in now in this question. So what is it, Tabitha, that you want to do when you leave school?
So I want to go to college, ideally Van Dien at the moment, and I want to do English, geography and photography at the moment. Then I want to go into do further studies onto university and possibly a teaching degree.
Okay, and how do you come to that kind of decision to do that as a...
So I came to the decision because there's a lot of support throughout your time at Patcham through careers, but not only that, it was seeing my teachers and how supportive they are of me, and that job role that really inspired me to want to become a teacher.
Okay. And you set your mind on Varndine. Have you been guided at all with that?
Yeah, so we got sent loads of booklets, videos, and we also had a careers chat, and basically to figure out what college would be best for me.
Okay. And how about you, Fred?
So I want to go to college as well. I still haven't decided between Varney and Baswick, but I think the school have arranged a careers meeting for me. So another thing that the school does is that if you don't really know what you want to do later on in life, then they'll sit down and have a chat with you about it and try and figure out the best thing for you. So I'm still undecided, but I want to go to college and study maths, politics, and something else. I'm not quite sure yet, and then probably go on to study something at university. I'm kind of interested in pursuing a career in journalism, maybe. But again, I'm not really sure. But I know that school will help me make that decision, and will just be there to support me and not put excess pressure on me to decide straight away.
I hope you've found the question and answer session with Tabitha and Fred of use, and I hope you've got a little bit of an insight into what it might be like at Patcham High School. I'm sure there's probably a lot more questions that you may want to ask, and because of that we've set up some Zoom sessions that you can book into via the website, where I can take your own personal questions and answers, and please could I encourage you to sign up to that. Thank you.